ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Hello and welcome to another episode of AR Predicts. Today we're going to go over the massive fight between Mauricio Lara, precocious Mauricio Lara, and Leigh Lethal Wood at the Nottingham Arena this Saturday, the 18th of February. I myself is Mike Thomas, and I am with my colleague as ever, Hamza Hanif. How are you doing?
What's up?
Lad?
What's happening, Mike? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. We've been off this a little while, so it's good to be back on it. I'm excited about this weekend, though. I'm excited about this fight. There's loads of big fights coming up that I'm really excited about, which, we're going to cover coming up. You were supposed to be going to this fight this weekend, weren't you? But
yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. No, like you say as well, it is good to be back. I feel like the last time we were on here was Eubank versus Smith. So it's a little bit of a gap. So it feels like we've been away for ages, man. So plenty to discuss.
Yeah. So this weekend, Mauricio Lara versus Leigh Wood. This is a really good matchup in terms of, their wins versus losses, where they are in the division. Mauricio's like number 2, Leigh Wood's ranked like number 5, depending on where you look at. I always go off Boxing Rec because it's independent. You know what I mean? It's not biased in any way. It was a big fight. Lara's a little bit younger. He's kind of in his prime. He's 24. Leigh Wood's 34. Surprisingly, I didn't realize he's a little bit older.
Yeah.
And
Lara's a very young sort of champion, isn't he? Yeah, very young, very ferocious.
You were there and you witnessed Leigh Wood's last massive knockout over Michael Conlan.
It was actually at the Nottingham Arena, which is where this fight is. So hopefully, I think what Leigh Wood will be hoping, and what people who support Leigh Wood will be hoping, is that he can roll that similar momentum and into this fight. He's definitely he's on home turf as well. So the thing is with Leigh Wood as well, he is. That fight against Mick Conlan, to me, that was the fight of the year last year, and it was so dramatic as well. I'm sure it was only February, March as well. It was one of the early fights of the year, and it was such a big fight. It was huge. He is lethal. Do you know what I mean? He has the ability to knock anybody out, and I think you've got to really give him massive credit for taking this fight, coming straight off the back of a huge fight against Mick Conlan. There's no easy fights, because Lara, man, is so ferocious. He just he absolutely demolishes people with his power. So this is such a risky fight for Leigh Wood. So you have to take your hat off to him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. I think the thing about Lara is he comes out of the what do you call it when the horses come out of the thing? He comes out of the gate just swinging and swinging, and everything about the guy is fast. I mean, he's a little guy. He's fast. The way he speaks is quickly. I was trying to watch the thing on him, and I was just watching him. Obviously, he's speaking in Spanish, but he talks fast, he moves fast.
He's in a rush. He's in a rush to get the
he's in a rush to get the job done.
Mate.
Just in a rush to get all the belts, bro.
And look at what he did to Josh Warrington. That. I feel like Lara is massively known over in the UK because he came over and he did a proper job on Warrington. If you remember that first fight between those two.
Well, Warrington. Here's the thing: Warrington fights a little bit like a Mexican in the style that he does, because he comes forward. He's a come forward fighter. So is Mauricio Lara. He's
actually Mexican.
He is true to his, where he's from. He fights just like he's supposed to fight where he's from. Leigh Wood is a lot more, in my opinion, he's a bit more tactical. Obviously, he's got Tyson Fury's ex-trainer under his belt. So he's going to look at very tactically in the way he fights. And the thing about Mauricio Lara is he comes forward, he's very aggressive, he's very fast, but in doing that and throwing all these punches, he also leaves himself open, and he also leaves himself vulnerable at times. So to me, it's a very it can go either way, this fight, and that's why I like this
Yeah.
one. This is why we choose these fights, because they're big ones, but they're close, and it's a tough one. And I can see it going both ways. I can see Leigh knocking Mauricio Lara out. I can also see Mauricio Lara, winning on points definitively, not being able to get touch, also doing damage on Leigh as well. So I think two strong opponents and a lot of power, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a really good fight. I'm excited.
Massive fight, man. Cannot wait for this genuinely 50-50 fight. And yeah, I just can't wait. I don't think this is going to go 12 rounds. I think this could be another fight of the year contender. And like I say, I think Leigh Wood is just a true example, like of a champion from Nottingham. Much like Carl Froch, he would come out and was just absolute granite. And I think Leigh Wood is very much cut from that same mold.
Here's the thing as well, if you think about it, Leigh Wood's motivated because of the fact that his dream, I was watching a thing on him, his interview, and he was saying, his dream is to fight at the City Ground, the Nottingham Forest football ground. That's his ideal dream. So he wants to get to that point. He wants to get to that. So he needs to win this fight to get to his dream. And he was saying, he's only got a couple more fights left in him, maybe 4 or 5. He wants to cement his legacy. He wants that
big stadium fight,
Yeah. That's it. And that's what he's working for. So he's got motivation. Mauricio Lara's got motivation because he's trying to prove himself in the UK, and he's talking a lot, saying, the English are scared of him and all that stuff. And so it's gonna be a very heated event, and I think it's not going to be one where they're going to be. I mean, I think Leigh Wood will be more tactical, and he'll probably try and box more. But they're
actually
both
I think you made a very good point there. Like, I think it is going to be very heated, and I actually really admire that about Lara, because there's always seems to be like a bit of a language barrier, but he does bring a very sort of a real intensity and a real ferocity to proceedings, doesn't he? Like, he really does bring that, and it's weird because obviously there's that language barrier, but you can just know that he's bringing that fire. So I think that's a really good point.
You can see he's intense. Everything about the man.
Yeah.
Everything about him is intense.
He's about violence, man. You can tell it. You can smell it on him.
He is. He's just he's just gonna he's unrelenting. He's the last person you want to do sparring with, because he just won't he won't let go. But the thing about him, he's like a little terrier, but he is vulnerable, like we say, and if he's throwing a lot, Leigh, if he's smart, he can catch him as well. So look, I'm gonna go with Leigh Wood on this. I would say because he's fought more rounds, he's the older guy, he's more ring experience than Mauricio Lara. And I'm going to say, if he fights like he fought against Michael Conlan, I think Leigh Wood will win. If he fights a little bit more, if he's slow to start, then I think Mauricio Lara can capitalize on that and get some damage in early, and then it might go the other way. But I'm going to stick my foot out, and if you like, and say I think Leigh Wood will win this, just because he's got the motivation to set up the big fights later on down the line.
I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so, especially
You're going the other way.
Especially with Josh Warrington, having the performance that he had last time out. It would be good to keep those titles in Britain, so I very much hope that Leigh Wood is able to do that. I just, I think this is a 50-50 fight, and I think his chin is going to be tested. Mick Conlan, put him down, and he proved by getting up and doing what he did later in that fight. And I think it was the 11th round when he got the knockout against Conlan. So we know that Leigh Wood can go there, he can go to the well and sort of and tough it out if he needs to. I'm gonna go for Leigh Wood as well. There's something there. I think there's something special about Leigh Wood, and I think he's gonna need that something special to beat Lara. And I think he can do it.
So big fight coming up this weekend. We'll cover. We'll see if we can get some footage, and then we'll do a reaction fight to it afterwards as well.
Definitely, 100%. This is a huge fight, and I can't wait to catch up with you on Sunday, man, and see what happens.
Absolutely. That's been another round predicts.